Let's go GM. Chat, are you looking at that? Do you see that?
What?
This guy went to Masters 4, played 2 games. Next season was Masters 3, didn't play a single game of tank. Or at least didn't win a game of tank. And then the season after that, he was GM1 with 1 game win. Season 6 of Overwatch 2 might have some of the worst competitive matchmaking I've ever seen in my entire life. To prove it, I have a clip I want to show you. I have multiple clips in this video proving it, and they were all taken in the same day. So none of these things are cherry-picked. This is game after game of what it is like. But firstly, I need to show you one of the less egregious examples so I can show you what I'm talking about. The Queen just walking around in our backline right now?
Yeah, she's on the Bastion. I just nailed a Bastion. Can I kill her? Does Kiri heal you?
No, the carry didn't heal me. The Bastion wasn't even shooting the Queen. Dude.
I don't think he was LOS, to be fair.
And people say...
Holy...
this is what I'm saying when I argue, like, yeah, the matchmaking is fucked. Alright, I can understand that some people may say, you know what, maybe you just made a misplay, made a mistake, you know, maybe you should have helped me target the Queen or the carry kill, right? Obviously, it's okay, people are going to make mistakes, that's fine. But it's his career profile where it really shows that this is just standard gameplay for this player. I'm curious what rank the Skyfox is. Let's have a look. Currently our Bastion is he's unranked, and last season was GM4 on Bastion.
There's no way.
Interesting. GM4. He was actually top 500. Position 358 one-tricking Bastion. Oh, and the season before that he was Diamond 4. Guys, there's definitely nothing wrong with the matchmaking. This is normal. This is normal. Diamond 4 peak Diamond 4. And then the next season, position 358. Yeah, very normal. And by the way, this guy was garbage as well. This guy was dead off spawn constantly. He was borderline trolling the game. Walking in 1v5, dead all the time. Horrible cooldown usage. Did barely any damage at all. Didn't get any picks. Just played like complete dog shit. But he's apparently a top 500 level player. Right, fair enough. There is probably a planet somewhere in the universe where that is top 500 level gameplay for a Bastion player who is unironically going negative against mid to low Grandmaster players on his one trick against mid to low Grandmaster players as a top 500 player, right? Which is just like, would basically never ever happen anywhere ever for any reason. I don't understand how you would one trick Bastion against a comp that's relatively okay for Bastion and then perform worse than people who are genuinely mid-masters. I couldn't tell you how, but that is just objective reality. That guy was apparently top 500. It is what it is. Maybe he was just having a bad game. I can understand it, right? I have bad games sometimes too. He was absolutely not even close to top 500. I've played in top 500 for 7 years, and I genuinely could have been convinced that he was a gold player. He was honestly one of the worst players I've ever seen in my whole life. And I'm not even saying that to be like hyperbolic. He was genuinely atrocious. Right, fair enough. Just having a bad game. It is what it is. I want to show you a couple more examples of the matchmaking being really, really bad before I talk about it any further, because I know some people are going to say, oh, that's just one thing, right? Let me explain to you. This all happened over the course of 1 hour. And this is from one stream over the course of 1 day within 1 hour. Now this happens, and this was probably one of the better days for the matchmaking as well. I've had days where it's a lot worse, but consistently every day I play, it is about this level or a little bit worse. I just watch these clips and tell me the matchmaking isn't completely annihilated. Dude, look at them backing up, man. Look how scared they are.
Oh, dude, the bad.
What a bad time to be scared. What? There was genuinely nothing happening to make them scared. They don't even push in. Bro, how is this a GM game? What the fuck are they doing? This enemy team is horrible. They're genuinely horrible. They're the same elo as the guy last game. They're masters. Let's go GM. Chat, are you looking at that? Do you see that?
What?
This guy went to Masters 4, played 2 games. Next season was Masters 3, didn't play a single game of tank. Or at least didn't win a game of tank. And then the season after that, he was GM1 with 1 game win. What? Hello? He doesn't even play the role and he's ranking up. He went from low Masters to GM1 without playing the game. Okay, I mean, that is just ludicrous. This player, right, went from Masters 4. He doesn't play tank. He doesn't play tank. Masters 4, he played tank a little bit, won 2 games. Next season rolls around, he doesn't play any games, and then the season after that he ranks up to GM1 without playing a game. And if he did play a game, he did not win a single one during the season, and he went from low Masters, right? He was 3100 SR, and moved to 4500 the next season, Grandmaster 1, without playing the role. This is what I mean when I say the ranked mode in this game is dog shit. How? How do you have a player move from low Masters to GM1 without playing the game? I genuinely, it doesn't make any sense to me. What happened in their matchmaking algorithm where they said, you know what, man, the player who's Masters 4, who consistently loses more than he wins in Masters 4, and barely plays the role, deserves to rank up from Masters 4 to GM1 without playing the role. How does it occur? What happened? And these are the players I get in my game. Now, fair enough, he was on the enemy team, and they were getting cooked because they were essentially a team of gold players in our GM game. They were just unbelievably terrible. But for some reason they were GM and they queued against us and they got completely annihilated, right? But obviously that's going to happen because they're awful. But I don't get it. What happened for the game to believe that this guy should go from Masters 4 to GM1 when he doesn't play the role? What is the point of... You genuinely benefit more from the ranking system from not playing. So I don't get it. Why do I go have a positive win rate and then D-rank, and he doesn't play the role, and when he does, he loses, and he goes from Masters 4 to GM1. How? I need someone to explain to me how this ever occurs in the matchmaking system. That is just awful.
Big hack. Oh, I'm out.
Cool. Winston is a gorilla, though. That doesn't matter.
Very nice.
Cool. I'm
It hasn't updated for me.
Okay, chat. What's going on? I did. Okay.
I saw it. I saw it.
I just went 5 and 4. No, like, you know what the funny part is? I'm ranked higher than 36%.
What?
I like massively D-ranked. I'm like,
bro, that's like when
the other day, dude,
like
I finished the season.
GM3.
I was Masters 1 higher than 86%, went positive, and now I'm Masters 2 higher than 36%. Okay, clearly there must be some like hilarious joke that I'm not in on, right? I am unironically top 500 every season. Fairly high top 500. I don't really have much of an issue getting to top 100 if I really grind for it. But I don't really do that all that often. I just like chilling in low GM, having fun, locking weird heroes, doing weird strats, whatever, right? I don't really mind. But when I have a positive win rate, ending my placements essentially, and I go 5 and 4 and I D-rank 150 SR. I won 5 games and lost 4 and D-ranked 150 SR. But the player in the previous clip maintained a negative win rate in every season he played tank and didn't even play the role and ranked from Masters 4 to GM1 in a single season without playing a game. This is what I'm saying when the competitive nature of the game has been completely killed off. What is the point of queuing ranked and trying to get better at the game and trying to like genuinely push like your passion and be really, really good if there is nothing concrete about the system at all? Firstly, you have a terrible ranked system where you don't even get like basic information about your rank half the time. You just get to see your little division, and then sometimes it moves, right? Sure, I could maybe accept the horrible rank system, but when you mix an atrocious rank system like it has and pair it with genuinely the worst matchmaking algorithm I've ever seen in my entire existence on planet Earth, and you put those two things together and you market your game as a competitive shooter, this is genuinely the most ludicrously egregious example of dog shit design I've ever seen. I genuinely believe there are 14-year-old children in high school with the ability to develop superior matchmaking algorithms to the one produced by a company that makes billions of dollars a year. I cannot fathom how this is possible. How does a system say this guy is performing far above average in terms of his statistics in his rank, he's winning more than he's losing, okay, and he's playing quite a lot, we're gonna derank him, okay? 150 SR from going positive, right? I don't know how, first of all, I don't know how that occurs. Second of all, I don't know how this matchmaking system ever decides that a Masters 4 player who doesn't play the game should rank up to GM1. Think about it. Imagine you spent years of your life trying to get really good at Overwatch because you love this game. You queue every day, you improve, you really, really try and get good. You deal with all the bullshit like the horrible balancing and the shit matchmaking and the bad rank system and whatever else may be that's bothering you about how terrible the game is, right? You deal with all of it because you're passionate and you want to be really, really good at it. And you spend years grinding for Grandmaster to go positive and derank and say, you know what, that sucks, it is what it is. And then you queue into another game where your teammate, or sorry, an enemy on the enemy team manages to go from Masters 4 to Grandmaster 1 without playing the game. Dude, it blows my mind. It genuinely doesn't make sense to me how you can have a competitive mode in your game that is not competitive. Quick play, the casual playlist, has a superior matchmaking algorithm to the competitive system, because it doesn't even make sense. Half the time, my GM games are full of legitimate diamond players who play like bronze players, and they just get completely rinsed, right? It is what it is, whether it be on my team or the enemy team. Doesn't matter, and it's boring as fuck. No one likes it. I don't like queuing into my GM4 game of Overwatch and going, that's really cool, man. My Genji player is Diamond 5 peak and is 4 in 25, right? That's fucking AIDS, right? No one likes playing against that. And then second of all, I also don't like when I queue into a game of Overwatch and my apparently top 500 Bastion one trick plays like he's a gold player and mega trolls the game, right? How does that occur? Right? I can understand having a shit game every once in a while, that's fine, but how I just don't get the matchmaking system. How are there players in Grandmaster, the top 1%, the best of the best, who have limited knowledge of the game, a lack of understanding about the basic fundamentals of the game and playing it properly, with horrible mechanics, no ability to work as a team at all, and they are apparently Grandmaster level players, okay? So half the time, your GM teammates are genuinely just complete dog shit and are borderline useless, and the other half the time, you have genuine diamond players on your team queuing against legitimate top 500 players, and the game thinks, yeah, that's a balanced game. So half of your games are completely unbalanced in terms of the skill levels on either team, right? Half the time, the matchmaking system doesn't even have the ability to find 10 players of similar skill, right? Whether that be on purpose and it be malicious, or the system is genuinely just atrocious, I have no idea. But half the time it doesn't work, and then the other half of the time, it just decides, you know what, man, this player who loses more than he wins should rank up 1,400 SR without playing the game. Dude, it genuinely doesn't make sense to me. That it is borderlining on malicious intent with how shit the system is. I don't believe my eyeballs when I queue into some of these games where I've seen games where the enemy team genuinely have like a total of 40 deaths in the first 8 minutes of the game, and that is a Grandmaster game of Overwatch. Okay? How? I don't get it. How do I queue into a Grandmaster game of Overwatch? And sometimes the game is great. You know, I'll have like a couple of top 500 players that I know, that I recognize, a couple of new people I don't really know, but that's fine because they're doing really, really good, and their stats are great, and we might win or lose, doesn't really matter, but they're performing about at that level, and that's a good game. And then sometimes I queue up, and then I have fucking Magic Pants 75 on my team, who goes 3-15, and then is somehow positioned 300 odd in top 500 when he plays like he's a gold player. How? How does he win enough games to achieve that elo when he's so shit? How does it happen? Right? I just don't get it. Like, the system is awful. I think everyone knows that. But it is getting progressively worse every season, and they have the gall to actually try and say that they are improving it with every update. This is possibly the worst matchmaking system I've ever seen in a video game, and I actually don't see it improving anytime soon. I came back to this game thinking it might actually be good, and the first couple of sessions I had in ranked were so bad, I genuinely am considering quitting the game again. They are actually so awful.